Boys, it is officially spooky season, and you are going trick-or-treating. What is the prized candy that you bring back home from trick-or-treating?
There was a house in my neighborhood that gave out full-size candy bars.
You want to try saying that again?
There was a house in my neighborhood when I was a kid that gave out full-size candy bars. That was always, like, we always had to visit that house. And then they moved away, and it ruined Halloween after that. Because I'd always get, like, a full-size, like, Snickers or Twix or something. That feels like if you can get that on trick-or-treat night,
yeah,
you did pretty well.
I know that, Reese's is obviously is just like the number one. That's what everybody wants. And I'm not here to say that Reese's are bad. Reese's are top 5 candy. Some days
people with peanut allergies.
Some days top 1.
It's number one.
I think even people with peanut allergies would understand that Reese's is the best. But to go out on a limb and just to get my little, I wouldn't say contrarian, but my a little bit out there, not just go a little past the obvious. I like a Crunch Bar.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah, or if you're a house that's doing it on the cheap, you get like the big Hershey bundle with the Mr. Good bars and the Crackles, which are basically just Crunch bars. And it's like I'll just give me a crackle, give me tiny little Crackles. That's
God, you geriatric fuck.
What? No.
Do you want some fucking Werther's original too while we're talking about it?
Yeah, we're not talking about.
You want some fucking pocket candy?
I'm not talking about taffy here. Come on, this is Crackles. Crackles perfectly fine.
Fucking mid-ass candy bar. Jesus.
Please enlighten us, Bobby, with the correct answer.
It's either a pumpkin-shaped Reese's peanut butter cup, or the party supply Starburst that comes in packs of 2, where you get the elusive double pink pack. That is what we call a great Halloween, not Crunch Bars. This isn't the fucking Great Depression, Chase. It's Halloween.
I also like any sour Wonka candy. So if you want to give me some Gobstoppers or some Nerds or some,
I'll give you some fucking Nerds.
Get the double orange, and you just feel like God has turned his face against you.
Double yellows,
man. I like yellows more than orange.
No, that's wrong. Well, I need to remember all the colors of Starburst, but yellow is certainly
red, yellow, orange, pink, and
that's the original. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, listen. This is episode 345. It is October 3rd, 2023. We've got too many video games tonight to talk about. It is our October preview.
Goddamn right.
Chase has carpal tunnel from writing this note.
It took a long time.
Yes.
It really did.
So we are going to briefly tell you about a new game we've each been checking out, and then we're going to tell you about the games that we thought were going to be good last month, and the games you're going to get for free this month, and the games that we think will be good this month. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Let's get into it. Johnny, what one singular video game are you enjoying right now?
Valve put out a new video game, guys.
Does it have a 3 in it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, well, that's a shocker.
But it is the third main one of these, I think. Source. Well, I guess Source 1.4 or 6. I don't know. I'm talking about Counter-Strike 2. Counter-Strike 2 came out last week. It was announced last year, I think, or earlier this year. Do you guys remember?
I think it was earlier this year.
Okay.
The only thing I know about, I know 2 things about Counter-Strike. One is DE Dust, and the other is skins, baby. That's
I bought a really cool skin for the M4.
Doesn't surprise me in the least.
It's Jurassic Park themed.
Mm-hmm.
It has a raptor claw slicing through it, and it has a kill counter on it.
Is it just for like a singular type of weapon, or can you equip it to multiple?
It is for the M4A1,
okay,
which is the counter terrorists get that gun. The terrorist team gets the AK-47.
Sure.
And those are the 2 best games in the gun two best guns in the game, so I'm told. So yeah, you guys know me. I am the one person here that really enjoys competitive multiplayer shooters. I usually stick to Call of Duties, your Battlefields, your Titanfalls. My
Your
only
Street
real
Fighters.
your Street Fighters.
I don't know. I play a lot more Destiny Crucible than either of you guys. So
Well, that's true, but you don't do that because you want to.
that's true. I really don't want to do it, but I just have to.
The last time I played a Counter-Strike was when Go came out on the 360, which I would say maybe doesn't really count as playing Counter-Strike because Counter-Strike is a PC game, right? Like when you think of Counter-Strike, you're thinking of people playing on PC, mouse and keyboard.
Yeah,
it's serious shit. And
I think I've seen watching Arena on G4 TV and seeing people play it like that and going, I don't know what this is, but sure.
It's a lot. But I've had a small group of people that are longtime Counter-Strike players, and I've been able to play with them. And I got to tell you, it has made the onboarding for this game so much less painful than just playing by myself, because there's so many things that you don't even consider that you need to think about when you're playing this game.
How does it feel shooting wise compared to like another shooter? Would you say, like, what's the closest thing that you can compare it to?
I would say, like, in terms of like time to kill, things like that, like Call of Duty hardcore mode, like
it doesn't take a lot, right? Like you can drop people pretty quick.
Yes. Like there's a sniper rifle that no matter where you get hit, it drops you in one hit.
Okay.
It's usually between 2 to 4 bullets, just depending on where they hit you on your body and whether or not you have armor and stuff. So if you guys aren't familiar, there's lots of different, there's tons of modes for it, but the main one is like bomb placement or diffusion, or hostage rescue, or like protecting hostages.
How many people on a squad for these?
5. It's
Okay.
5v5 is for the competitive mode. There's a casual mode that has 7 or 10 aside. I think there's also a deathmatch mode, which is a free-for-all. I've mainly been playing the competitive mode with my friends, and it's so much more
skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I haven't won 10 matches yet, so I haven't been assigned a rank. But the shooting feels fantastic. Like
cool.
that is really what has like kept me with it, is like how good it feels when it connects and you really feel like I got the better of this person. Like it feels.
Is it a pretty fast-paced game?
Yes. Rounds are 2 minutes.
Okay.
And
I've never played, so sorry for all the. I've just never played it.
Yeah. So you have 2 minutes to plant or rescue a hostage, plant a bomb, rescue hostage, depending on the mode that you're playing, or eliminate the other team.
Sorry, I'm a little sick, everybody.
No, you're fine.
Very fake. Very fake chat.
If you do plant the bomb and the timer runs out for the match, then the other team has an opportunity to defuse it until the timer runs out on the bomb itself. So you can have things that like really get down to the wire depending on how it plays out. So if your team's wiped and you're the terrorist, but someone planted the bomb, well, you could still win. That happened to us last night. Our team got wiped, but they couldn't defuse the bomb in time, so we still won the round.
Do you get to choose? You talked about like you have the weapon skin for the M41A, which you can only use as the counter terrorists.
Yep.
But does that mean 50% of the matches you just don't get to use your cool weapon skin because you're assigned to the terrorists?
You switch sides. So there's a set of rounds where you play as terrorists and a set where you play as counter terrorists, and it's the best of 15, I think, 15 rounds.
The best of times, the worst of times. Yes.
Yeah.
So are all the weapons equal, but just different kinds of weapons, or do terrorists sometimes have like a completely different set from the counter terrorists?
Supposedly, a lot of them are the same, but like some of the rifles are different. Like terrorists have AK-47, counter terrorists have the M4.
Right, but do those have like different stats? Mm-hmm. Do those feel different?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the AK, how the gun kicks up as you're firing is different.
Recoil is what we call it sometimes.
And the spread is a little different. But it's supposedly the best gun in the game.
Okay.
Nice.
And you're playing, you're coming up with strategy for how you're gonna try and take the objective or protect against the objective, and shit can go real bad real quick.
Sure.
And it's a lot of fun.
Is this your new Street Fighter? Is this the new thing you're going to put 1,000 hours in?
No, I've still been playing Street Fighter.
Well, obviously.
There was a
New character.
Yeah.
New character came out. I think
who's the new character? I haven't even seen.
Aki.
Okay.
She has poison.
Is she like brand new, or is she from like a?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, I think she's brand new. Yeah. So I think, I don't know. Like, if I have this group of people that I continue playing with, I can see myself just skipping Call of Duty altogether and sticking with Counter Strike.
I think a lot of people might do that.
It also.
Oh yes, Aki, this Tilda Swinton looking motherfucker.
Yeah. Also, like, it's so cool to be able to play a shooter like this, where I feel like I can't just pick it up and automatically be sort of good at it. Which is how, like, Call of Duty has been for years, like Halo, like all that stuff. Like, enough of that stuff.
You're too good for shooters.
That's what I'm hearing, Johnny.
No,
Johnny's like,
no.
it's been so long since I picked up a game and wasn't
Are you not
instantly
entertained?
the best player.
I picked up a controller.
With you guys. No, you know what I mean? Like, there are things that you learn over so many years of playing the same type of game, and that skill set doesn't particularly carry over to something like this. They're just two very different beasts.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
And I've seen some old school counter score people saying, "Oh, CS is dead," blah blah blah. But it seems like that always happens whenever there's a new version of a thing that people love.
Seems to be a pretty popular thing. I'm glad you're digging it, man.
Yeah, I'm really really liking it. I might say that I could see myself loving this game and maybe talking about it at the end of the
praise.
year. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I think I've got like 7 or 8 hours into it so far. And I can definitely see that number continuing to tick up
Very
as
cool.
the weeks and months go by.
Well, I was on the road. I checked out a new game called Moonstone Island. If you haven't heard about this, it was developed by Studio Supersoft, put out by Raw Fury. It came out on September 20th, and it will set you back $20. I believe this is on PC only at the time, but will be coming to Switch later on. I'm really enjoying this game, but I can't help but feel that if you put machine learning in front of the wholesome game show for a few years, you might get Moonstone Island, because it is very much a clone to a degree of a Stardew Valley, but it builds in deck building and it builds in creature collecting as well. And
So it's checking all the body boxes.
you can fish also.
And can you cook?
And yes, you are.
Okay, they just took everything from the cozy games.
No, it literally is all of those things, and that's not a bad thing. Like, it's definitely a cool principle. You're an alchemist. You have left home, and you are out on your own. And you are going out just like you would in Stardew Valley. You might discover a mine that you have to get resources. You'll bring those back down and smelt them down and make, different medallions and shit. But while you're out and about, you're going to encounter these really rad creatures. And speaking of rad, another game that has watched a lot of the Wholesome Game Fest that we like here, Ooblets, Rad Lad, one of the Ooblets is actually in this game as a creature that you can collect.
Oh, it's fun.
Which is
Ooblets is also coming to Steam soon.
It is on Steam. It is. It's either there or about to be there. It plays really well. It's very cute. It's got a ton of heart, but you've seen this game 1,000 different ways already, and it's getting to that point where, to quote Chase Kinnicky, I already have a live service game. I don't need another one. I already have a Destiny.
It's a smart guy right there. Smart philosopher.
Sounds like a punished man, if you ask me.
Yes, punished them, Chase.
But I just feel like we're at this apex of all these games to where it's like they're coming out at such a clip now, and they all do a very similar type of thing. It's like, well, which one of these do you want to spend time with? Stardew Valley is about to put out a huge update. with a ton of more dialogue, a new festival, some new clothing options. That has been the darling for a long time. I think there's plenty of seats. Like, we play all kinds of different turn-based strategy and deck building games, but these are games that are demanding of your time, and a lot of it. You have to remember, like, oh, today's a Tuesday. I need to go give a gift to this person and have that conversation. I got to rotate my crops. Like, it is that game that, like, an Animal Crossing, you have to spend a lot of time.
When you say Tuesday, do you mean it actually is doing real time stuff, or is it like a in-game calendar?
In the game calendar.
I see.
Like,
I mean, because I was doing that in like Pokemon Gold and Silver. Like, oh, it's Friday. That's when the Lapras shows up in that cave. I gotta go do that. Or, oh, it's Tuesday. It's the bug catching contest day. But yeah, as our good friend Pierce in the chat is saying, I already have a life now. I think I'm good. I've got a schedule. I don't need a video game to also force its way in there.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that the surrounding islands are all procedurally generated. There are some temples you go into. There are rare creatures that you can find. You have to level up your ability. And then you are doing decks per creature. And so you might have creatures that are better at knocking down armor. So they do some pretty cool stuff with that I think keeps it a bit more different than some of the other games. But this is the wholesome game freak flag right now. Yeah. And it's really cool. Like, it's very good at what it sets out to do, but it does the same thing a lot of other games are doing also. And so I'm not trying to come down on it for that, because I've played quite a bit of it, but I've already found myself just like, okay, would I rather just go play Stardew Valley again, or start a new farm there, or do something like that? Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it right now.
Yeah.
So that's Moonstone Island. It will be on Switch later, and I think it'll do very well there. Like, this is going to sell gangbusters on the Switch. I can already see the fall vibes with the spooky little alchemist doing all that shit. So, yeah, not bad at all. $20. We'll come to Switch later on. I don't know the exact date there, but it's currently on PC, and I played most of this in handheld on the Ally, and it was really great. Nice. Chat, very strong fall vibes there for sure.
Cool.
Chase, what about you? You've been playing something probably different than what you normally like to play, I imagine.
Yeah. Way to set me up.
Yeah, getting outside your wheelhouse.
So I have been playing some Chants of Sennaar. I just want to quickly mention that Bobby talked about it last week, but I started up too. We have a quick look of that coming up, or is it already out? Is it out today?
No, it's not out.
Okay, but it'll be out at some point. That's a cool game. I'm having fun with it, which surprised me a little, because when we saw it in the September preview, I don't think we were all that excited about it, but it's really...
All right, there's Chase's one game for the night, everybody. Let's get into the new stuff coming out.
Bobby always gets pissed at me when I say, oh, I've got games on my backlog wheel, on my backlog roulette wheel, and I'll just wait until it hits upon that. And he says, you can just play the game now. Like, yeah, I know, but something about spinning the wheel is fun. And so I decided, you know what, Bobby, you're right. I'll just play a game that's on the wheel because I want to
live your life.
And so I did. I played another Fire Emblem game.
Oh my God. Color me surprised.
Yeah, I know. Shocker. So this is Fire Emblem, The Binding Blade, which is Fire Emblem 6, I believe. It did not come out here. It was Japan only. This is the one with Roy in it. So if you played Smash Brothers, it's the red hair guy. And it's on GBA. I always wanted to play it. I did play it. I did start it at one point, but it's kind of hard. It's hard and has some characters with some real bad stats, and it's hard to look up guides because Japanese, but it has gotten a fan translation in the past. So one of the things that I have found, though, is a Fire Emblem editor. I believe it's called Fire Emblem Nightmare, something like that, where you can go in. But you go in and you can change some values of different games and change out the ROMs and then get yourself a new ROM that functions a little bit differently. Like you're able to patch a ROM with something kind of custom. So I was able to patch the game to make it a little bit easier to not completely get rid of weapon uses, but to give all the weapons a lot more uses. So I don't have to worry about that aspect. There was a character that I really liked who just has terrible stats, so I was able to boost up her stats a little bit. So now when I
do
get
that for
her as a
Johnny?
character, yeah, I wish, man. There's no Johnny editor out there, unfortunately. But I've been having a ton of fun. It's a solid game, and it's certainly not as easy and accessible as Fire Emblem 7, the Blazing Blade is, or it just came out as Fire Emblem here on the GBA, and then certainly not Sacred Stones, which is Fire Emblem 8. That was built to be very easy.
Do any of the characters say "Hiya, Papaya"?
They don't.
Ugh.
They don't. It's kind of cool. It's kind of great. But it does have a pretty solid cast, and I really like Roy. He's not a very strong unit, but I just like him as a character. And so that's been fun. Just kind of going through that, playing it as kind of casually, and having it be a little bit broken by some of the stuff I added in. So now you get to do
Like the
things
way you want to play it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of experiencing the story. I can go into something like in the arena sections where you can, where it's usually like really risky, and now it's a lot less risky because I've got stronger characters. Anyway, I think it's fun. I'm having a good time.
Nice.
I'm on chapter.
Did you say you're
15
playing that
now.
on your Pocket, or were you playing it?
I didn't say that, but yes, I am playing it on the Pocket, and almost exclusively I've been playing it on the Pocket dock. So I've been playing it on the TV using a Switch Pro controller that's wirelessly connected, and it just plays great. It's really solid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the analog Pocket, people should get them.
Some people might buy them twice.
Might buy a second one because it comes in translucent blue. I don't know.
It's true. Yeah, the transparent ones look really cool. I was really close to getting one of the glow in the dark ones.
That thing's awesome too.
My white one is fine, but some of those other ones have looked pretty cool. Anyway, that's what I got. You guys want to talk about some video games?
Obviously, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, before we do, we have one bit of business,
and
that is, I mentioned it before. We do spin a wheel every time. Bobby, would you like to spin the wheel?
Let's stroke the ego, everybody. Let's do it here.
So it is October, which is my birthday month. So I decided to do something a little special this month and make a
Chase
birthday
broke his own rules. What do you know?
No, it's not breaking a rule.
It sure is. It sure shit is.
I shortened the wheel to just 5 entries here of games I think that I'd really like to play.
This ain't Chase. There are rules.
It's just for this month. The regular wheel will be back later. I just wanted to play something fun on my birthday month, so I decided to get some stuff in here. There's stuff that you guys would appreciate. There is Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past on here for Bobby. That's a game that I've tried many times to play, but I've never finished.
Let's just spin the fucking thing.
Spin it. Just do it. Do the thing. Let's see what I get. I'm excited. You can't go wrong on this wheel.
Oh,
you can't go wrong on the other wheel.
You got a Pokemon ROM hack.
Darn. That's a shame. It's a shame.
So fucking edgy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, hey, this is great. I'll figure out which one to play. There's a ton, and I've got a ton on my analog Pocket.
You should have picked a specific ROM hack.
I can't. I don't know. That's tough. Yeah. I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I do for a Pokemon ROM hack. But yeah, that's good. I haven't played a good Pokemon game in a while, so that'll be a nice treat. Nice treat for me.
Nice little treat.
Yeah. All right, let's get into our monthly preview stuff, and we'll start with the previous month recap and see how we did. Bobby, you had a handful of games that were coming out on Game Pass that you thought were interesting. I'd like to hear how you kind of netted out with some of these. Some little game called Starfield. How'd that go?
Further got away from it, the least I liked it. It's sitting at about a 6 for me. I beat it, played it, but found it to be pretty dull after the first hour showed up really well, but rest of it
I feel like the more you talk about it, the more I would like to try it, even though I don't think it'll be very good.
God,
I don't know. Liza P, did you play that? I know Johnny played it, but did you play some?
It's really fucking cool.
Nice. Very cool.
It's really cool.
Payday 3. I know you guys had the stream that wasn't.
They apparently have just gotten it working. We have not tested it, but it is
2 weeks after its official release.
Yes. Matchmaking works. So
it's almost like they made a Bethesda game.
Yes.
And then you had a Cocoon, which I know we've been working on a quick look for. That'll be coming out at some point as well. That game looks cool.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that one next week. I got the third world, Chase.
Okay.
It's very neat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I downloaded it, so maybe I'll have some of it played by the time you talk about it next week. So
Totally.
Look forward to that. You also had a couple of games that weren't on Game Pass. Land Above, Sea Below. You play any of that?
I've played maybe 10 minutes of it. It seems really strong. We'll definitely check that out. It's cool though.
Yeah, that's one that's been on my radar too. I'm interested to see how it looks. And then the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC. I know Johnny has also been playing some of that, but have you gotten to touch any of that?
Yeah, it's really fucking awesome.
Nice.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Johnny, you decided to abandon us last month, so you don't get any picks, and therefore we can't make fun of the picks that you did make. It's too bad. Missed opportunity.
Too bad.
I had Cocoon, which again I've downloaded but I haven't started yet. I have Mineko's Night Market, which I still think that game looks cool. I'm not here to say it's a bad game. I got into a point where it's like I don't know if I need to buy and download this. There are other games that I feel like I need to play more.
Maybe you'll find out you won't have to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, ominous, but understandable. And then I guess I don't have to worry about this one either. I said that I would try out that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, but now that I have a brand new ROM hack that I can play, fuck that. I don't need to play. I don't need to play this probably mid Pokemon DLC. I started to load up my game thinking it was like Destiny or something where I probably already pre-purchased it, and I was like, I guess I'll just check out what's going on here, and then realized I hadn't downloaded or bought the DLC.
How liberating of a feeling was that?
It was kind of, I felt a lot of relief of like, oh, I don't have to do this. Okay, I could just be free. That's cool.
I don't know if I'm going to buy at launch the next new Pokemon game.
Nope.
I don't know if I'm going to do that.
I hated that game so much I got a refund, guys. I don't know if you remember that or not.
I
do remember that. I remember that Johnny didn't finish a video game. Yeah, I remember.
How can I forget?
The Game Freak would have to show off something noticeably interesting to me for me to say, okay, let's play it again. But so we'll see. I might still try out that DLC at some point if I hear people talking about it, but honestly I haven't heard anybody talk about it.
Same. I haven't seen a fucking thing on it, which is weird.
Yeah, which was definitely very weird. All right, let's move into the free stuff that you can get in October. Remember, their Xbox Game with Gold got a bullet put in it, so we don't have to worry about talking about those games anymore. But PlayStation Plus is still, I wouldn't say going strong, but it's going. PlayStation Plus Essential, which does cost a little bit more these days. It does have a few games we can talk about here, all on both PS4 and PS5. So no matter your platform, you can get the version for yourself. The first one here is the Callisto Protocol. You both played that, right?
I bounced way away from it. It got really bad reviews, and I said no thanks.
Yeah, I mean the guy gets chewed up by like a fan blade or something. That's something.
Oh yeah, I mean there were some cool death animations, but the game wasn't very good.
Yeah, that's what I kind of remember.
The Dead Space game though, that was excellent.
Right.
Yeah, very cool.
Weird West, Bobby, you played some Weird West. We did a quick look at that. Did you finish Weird West?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
it was awesome.
That seemed like just a fun kind of B game.
It was really good.
Yeah. So you can get that for free on PlayStation Plus, and then Farming Simulator 22, which
it ain't much, but it's honest.
It's absolutely. Yep. I hear that you don't have to be lonely when you play Farming Simulator 22.
Oh, only.
Bobby, I'm going to pass it over to you to talk about the Game Pass games that are coming out and leaving Game Pass this month.
I think this is the biggest chunk of additions I've seen in 1 month this year.
It's a big month of video games.
October 3rd, you get Gotham Knights and NHL 24.
Today.
And you get the Lamplighters League today as well. Warhammer 40k Darktide is finally making its way to consoles starting on October 4th. And then October 10th, you get the really cool looking Forza Motorsport. We're then going to jump to the 24th, where you get City Skylines 2 on PC only. They have delayed the console release of that game until 2024. And then, Chase, this is what I was alluding to earlier. On October 26th, Mineko's Night Market is going to be coming to Game Pass, and you can check it out there if you wanted to.
I see. I thought this was a hey, we bought it for you for your birthday kind of thing. But
no.
Microsoft bought it for me for my birthday.
Microsoft knew it was your
Microsoft.
Birthday. And then on Halloween, you can check out Headbangers Rhythm Royale along with Jusant, which we will talk about later on. Leaving, of course, though, to make room for all those beautiful games is Evil. I can't remember how we called that.
I think it's supposed to be evil, but it's
Evil,
it's like a vil like
yeah.
village.
Evil.
Evil.
Evil is leaving. Overwhelm is leaving. IO is leaving. The Legend of Tianding is leaving, and Trek to Yomi, one of the greatest terrible games ever made, is leaving.
Just trek on out of here.
And then Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion is heading out. It's no longer tax season. We don't need to keep that here. It'll probably be back around next tax season. So
sure. Yeah.
That's
check around next April.
That's your update for Game Pass.
Very cool. All right. We got a lot of games and not a ton of time to talk about them. So let's get right into it. October 2nd, is it Bilkins? Yeah, Bilkins Folly is coming to PC, Switch, PS4, and PS5. This seems like a fun little adventure game. I think it's got a really nice art style. The kind of what is this reminding me of? Like maybe a little bit of Chained Echoes, maybe in just the pixel art style.
Yep, totally.
See that? Yeah, I don't know. Seems kind of good.
Seems wholesome.
Yeah, it does. Fishing. Crafting
a dog.
There's a dog.
Yeah,
you're carrying to a graveyard or something.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that. Let's move on to the 3rd, where we're getting Silent Hope for PC and Switch. I wrote down that I thought this looked like the anime equivalent of Cult of the Lamb. Like you're going down into a dungeon, you're fighting some stuff, you're bringing things back to a village, and then you're doing kind of the Cult of the Lamb Stardew Valley stuff of like you're building up the town before you go back down and fight again. Yes.
I don't mean this in a bad way, but it looks like a mobile, like it's something you see on mobile.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's got some of that design aesthetic for sure. It actually reminds me of a game called Fantasy Life that was on the DS, and I believe they're still making a sequel to that. But I think the Silent Hope thing is that like all the characters don't have voices, but there's like a princess who does have a voice.
It's
she's
Zelda.
like the only one who's kinda yeah.
It's just Zelda.
If like every character except Zelda couldn't speak. But yeah, I don't know. It seems okay. And also it does. You might have seen it in the trailer. There, it does have the cows from the original Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons. It's just I fucking love those cows.
They're good cows.
It's a good cow design. It's so good. I might play this game only for the cows. But I don't know. It seems okay.
Cash cow.
Yeah. Bobby, you mentioned on Game Pass, the Lamplighters League came out today for PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Let's talk a little bit more about that. It's a turn-based strategy game. It's got kind of a decent pedigree. It's got the from the makers of BattleTech.
Yeah.
So
very solid turn-based game.
I'm not usually like an Indiana Jones guy. I don't really care about Uncharted or Tomb Raider or that kind of stuff. And this feels like it's playing into those kinds of genre tropes but
it's like a very transatlantic looking fucking thing.
But Bobby, you said you've been hearing some stuff, some scuttlebutt about the game.
Yeah, I think that it's reviews, because it did come out today. It seems like it's a very, competent,
Average.
but like very average take on the genre. And basically what we kind of alluded to earlier, the inspiration it wears on its sleeves does a better job than what this does. But they say there's a little bit more creative choice. Like you can move between your characters kind of as you want to versus a turn order. But I think it's got a pretty good look to it. It's on Game Pass, so I am going to check it out. I like these types of games. And we'll see how it goes. But yeah.
What was the game by the Mutant Year Zero people that you were playing some of?
Why did you ask me that just now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. This kind of reminds me of that a little bit, at least in, just because it's another isometric-y turn-based strategy game. But I'm
trying to look up who that was.
Miasma Chronicles?
Yes. That is
Thank
it.
you, Johnny.
Yep.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I get a little sense of that. On the 4th, we're getting Worldless for PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. This you remember when people were talking about like the art styles went from just being brown to now being like blue and orange? They made a game that's all about being blue and orange.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool. It reminds me of Grease or whatever the hell we ended up calling that. It's very combat heavy though, which is certainly not what Gree ended up being. But I just think it's got a real nice looking art style. It looks smooth. I really like that stuff where like it's not HUDless exactly, but it is. You have like your skill tree is on your character. Like your character is like a constellation, and they can kind of like spread out into a constellation, and now you can pick the different skills based on that tree, and then you can just it's like an ambient kind of
is this a Metroidvania?
I don't know. I don't think it might be. Yeah,
I think it reminds me a little bit of Ori.
I can see that.
And I think Ori was kind of that style.
I haven't seen anything with a map to see that this would be something Castlevania-y in that way.
It doesn't say anything about that on its Steam page. It says action adventure, single player.
Okay.
But even so, I can totally understand those vibes of like the gaining powers that allow you to do not just combat stuff, but to do movement stuff as well. I think it looks really neat.
Yeah.
Moving on to the 5th, Assassin's Creed Mirage comes to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Did they take a year or two off between Assassin's Creed?
They took a year. This was actually going to be DLC, and they ended up they got a lot of well-deserved criticism for how big the last Viking themed Assassin's Creed was, and they decided to expand on Mirage a little bit further and turn it into its own standalone. And that's one of the reasons why I think the game's $50. It's not it's 20 hours, which, hey, I think that's awesome. And yes, it's going to be a much more linear focused, not nearly as big as some of the most recent Assassin's Creed games.
It kind of seems like it's going back to its roots in more ways than one. Like part of it is that more kind of focused feel, but the other part is they're going back into the Middle East setting in here, which we haven't seen since the Altair days.
I know that you had asked a question in the note, I think, around like the loot. You will be getting other weapons, but it's not going to be anything like it has been in the other Assassin's Creeds, where it's more of like the same weapon, just different colors and whatnot.
Yeah, they got real into that Destiny loot system, menu system, which, I play a lot of Destiny, but I don't need that in every fucking video game. In fact, I don't even really like it in Destiny. So cool. I'm glad that they're kind of figuring something else out. Something else I read, I don't know if it was a tweet or something, maybe a news article, but somebody was talking about like, oh, this is make or break for Assassin's Creed, and I thought, is it? is this the make or break time for this series? Hasn't it already come and gone?
Yeah, like
hasn't it been made and or broken? I don't know which, but
remember
I feel
Unity?
like it's been one of those things at this point.
Well, I think that they've kind of said that they're going to be doing, like they're going to have these Assassin's Creed games are going to be this style. These Assassin's Creed games are going to be this style now.
Oh.
And so I think they're kind of going into that formula. Like if you still want that really big, like grandiose, maybe a bit out there, supernatural at times, this is what we got for you. Here's going to be
that way.
So it's this Assassin's Creed's going to have the slide, this one's going to have the dolphin dive, and that one's going to have wall running. Okay,
yeah,
I see. I see.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Let's move on to one for our good friend Jiggy out there. Also on the 5th, Front Mission 2 Remake is coming to the Nintendo Switch. I really didn't like the first remake, which I think is more about how me not liking some of the stuff that's in Front Mission, less than the remake being bad. For all accounts that I saw, the remake seems like it's fine, and this one seems like it's just the same in that way, where it's got like a new coat of paint on some of the stuff, but it also looks like Front Mission. I'm seeing people taking multiple shots and it hitting multiple different parts of the robot at random, which was the problem I had with it. Jiggy, our good friend, doesn't seem to have an issue with that. He likes that, so I'm sure he will continue to like this game as well.
The Wansers, baby.
It's turn-based strategy robots, and also they're called fucking Wansers. That's so goddamn cool. That's might be the best name for a mech I've ever heard.
It's very good.
God, so good. Moving on, also on turn-based strategy game, Wargroove 2 comes to PC and Switch. Johnny, you and I played a little bit of the first Wargroove, right?
I did. No, I did.
We all did.
Yeah.
Oh, we all did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That game was hard.
It was very hard.
It was very hard when it came out. I know they've gone back in and patched it a while ago to make it a little bit more accessible. And
I tried going back to it a couple of times, and each time I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on or how this combat works, and I was like, I would have just needed to start a whole game over again.
Yeah.
So I don't like. There's so much other stuff coming out this month. I don't know if I'll be picking this up or not.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I think at this point I would rather go back to the original game and start it over from the beginning and kind of try to get a new sense of it before I would jump into to 2.
I think I'd rather play more of the Advanced War reboot camp.
That's true. I was just need to finish
one of these.
I need to finish the Advanced Wars 2 remake in there as well. But I still like this art style a lot. I like a lot of the stuff they have going on here. They've got some new factions in here. There's kind of like Mouse Samurai one, some pirate stuff. They did a really great job in the first game of having the kind of scene builders. Like you could build your own campaigns out there and then put them out online for people to download and try out. That customizability stuff seems so cool. I kind of just wish it was an Advance Wars instead of instead of being in a game where everything's slightly different. I'm
sure to do really well.
I'm sure it'll do just fine. I'm not here to discourage people. In fact, I would encourage other people to go and try that out. But just for me personally, I would rather go back to that first game and just get a sense of what I'm dealing with before I jump into the second one. And then we go to the 6th, where we have Detective Pikachu Returns coming to the Switch. I played a little bit of that first game on the 3DS, and I thought it was okay. Like it's a pretty bog standard mystery adventure game. I really just like the idea of Pokemon interacting with people in the world. I don't want like the Pokemon cafe stuff where it's like, oh, the Pokemon or your baristas or whatever. But I just like this idea of, hey, people live in this world and Pokemon are also here. And, a Charmander helps start this guy's fire for him, or like cook something for him, or, your Pikachu gives your battery a jolt or something, and you're able to use it.
Just
And
natural fucking helpers.
Yeah, and that's what this world feels like, and I think that stuff's really cool. The story stuff, I don't know. The voice acting for Pikachu, it's fine.
No Danny DeVito, no Sad. That's what I said.
Yeah, I don't know. I seen some nice looking Pokemon on the Switch. Sounds kind of compelling to me. I mean, this is a game that will obviously never go on sale because Nintendo and Pokemon, but I don't know. Seems all right. Seems like it could be fun.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be picking it up, but I appreciate that it's a thing.
Yeah. On the 10th, Bobby, you alluded to this one as well. Forza Motorsport. We've dropped the numbers. Forza Motorsport. What more do you want? It's coming out for the PC and the Xbox Series X. If this is a next gen console looking game, those wheels, they're fucking round.
They're
very round
as they have ever been.
Yeah, it's a great looking game. I know the three of us are more into the kind of arcadey style of Forza Horizon.
For sure.
I have played some Forza Motorsports in the past and have found them to be enjoyable and cool. And they've got a fantastic selection of cars, and they've got a lot of assists to help you out, even if you're not a experienced racer. But they're solid games. I don't have an Xbox Series X. I do have a PC that could play this, I suppose, but I don't know. I feel like there are enough other racers out there that I don't.
You absolutely could see those very pretty round wheels. Your rig could handle it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have Game Pass, so
I'll be checking it out.
There's kind of no reason not to try, but other than, hey man, there's a lot of other fucking video games to play.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'd probably be one like I fired up, I race a few races, and then install Horizon again.
But I mean, it's either you play Forza Motorsport or you play the other game that comes out on the 10th, Lil Gator game.
Oh,
it's been out for a while.
Yeah, that's true. It has been out for a while, but this is coming out. It's been on PC and Switch, but now it's coming out to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. I don't know if we've talked about it before. I don't remember mentioning it when it came out. Did we? Okay, because I feel like I would have mentioned like, man, it feels like somebody played a short walk or short hike, and was like, what if I made that but bigger?
Yeah,
it looks good. Looks good. I might pick that up.
Yeah, it looks really fucking slick.
Yeah,
I think it's got pretty good reviews too.
I think so. Yeah. But yeah, it came out December of last year if you have a Switch or PC, but now it's coming to the other consoles as well. So if that was your hang up before you tried it, now you don't have that problem anymore. Let's move on to another game on the 10th that is a port as well, and that is Long Gone Days, coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X.
Any relation to Days Gone?
No, thankfully not any relation whatsoever. This I don't know if I got this on like an itch bundle or if I got this as like some kind of individual download somewhere along the line. This game has been sitting on my desktop on my laptop for
really
for years. Yeah, just the icon for this game, and I've just never loaded it up because I've always had other stuff to do, and playing games on my laptop is not something I really like doing. It's like an adventure game, but it has a RPG, some turn-based strategy stuff when you get into the actual combat. I think it looks real nice.
Yeah, it's got a really good look to it.
Yeah. And now it's coming out for everything in a more formal way. I think this I mean, it's been on PCs before, but I think this PC specifically means like, hey, it's coming to Steam. But yeah, I think it looks real good. Despite already owning this game, I think now that it's on something like the Switch, I might actually buy it and play it for real, which is a waste of my money, but also, hey, it might be the push I need to actually just play it. I think it looks great. On the 12th, we're getting Dwerve. You guys want to get Dwerved?
I think this one, there was a demo I either downloaded or I I've had this somehow loaded up on a PC before.
You could. It could be. Like this is for the Switch, so maybe it's been on PC for a while. I'm not sure. But it's a tower defense.
Yeah, I thought it looked really cool.
RPG. I like the art style. I like the idea. It seems cool.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I like the look.
I don't have much more to say. It just seems pretty cool.
Totally.
Let's move on to another game coming out on the that Bobby turned me on to. Subpar Pool is coming to iOS, Android, PC, and Nintendo Switch. This is a new game from Martin Johnson, who makes Hold Down, which is one of my favorite games of all time. He also made Rimmed Capsule, which was a game that I really liked on my PSP or PS Vita. In fact, I did an interview with him on Rimmed Capsule on one of like the early episodes of Gamers on the Go.
Oh, nice.
He's a really cool developer. He's done a lot of other cool talks and GDC stuff as well. Cool guy. And his games are really inventive and interesting. I'm like Subpar Pool. It's billiards and it's golf smashed together. Seems neat. I just want it. I just want it. And I don't have much longer to wait before I get it. So that's very exciting.
Hell yeah.
On the 13th, Lords of the Fallen comes to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. And you might be saying, Chase.
Excuse me. It's the Lords of the Fallen.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. It was, but it is no longer. I had to look so many things up, Johnny.
I mean, the trailer says it's that on PlayStation right now.
I know, but it's not. Okay, a long time ago in the olden times of 2014, there was a game called Lords of the Fallen.
Yes,
that was just a Dark Souls-y kind of clone that was kind of whatever.
It wasn't very good. I played it.
Yeah, I believe these same people made the Surge, right? Didn't they also like, hey, we're going to make another Dark Souls-y kind of game? I think that's right. I could be wrong.
This one's not being made by whoever that was.
Okay. This game, though, is a sequel, which at one point was called Lords of the Fallen 2. And then at one point they said, actually, we're going to call it The Lords of the Fallen. And then at some point they said, fuck it, it's just called Lords of the Fallen, but now it's Lords of the Fallen 2023. I don't know. Doesn't make any goddamn sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
I will say this looks much more impressive than the first game did.
Yeah, it was okay.
I think people are really excited for this.
I am.
I can see it. Yeah, like it seems all right.
It's got that fantasy look that I enjoy. And
I know this trailer says The Lords of the Fallen, but I don't know how long ago that trailer was from when I pulled it. So
last year. So it was at the PlayStation Showcase or something, I think.
Maybe. This was me reading a number of articles to be like, wait, what the fuck is this game actually? Is it because I didn't even remember. I was like, that name sounds really familiar. I feel like that game's already been out. And I was like, oh wait, is this just a remaster of that game? And
this trailer is from December of last year.
Yeah, so I think they have switched it up since then. Doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. It sounds like an SEO nightmare, but go with God, I suppose. Speaking of nightmares, let's talk about Sonic Superstars, which comes out October 17th for PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. I don't actually think it looks all that bad. It looks fine.
No. Yeah.
I just still don't understand. Sonic Mania was incredible. Everyone loved it.
It was great. And then Sonic Frontiers came out and blew that out of the water.
Which is also fine. Yeah, so you've got your new Sonic, but so they still are in this world where they go, okay, well, some of these people want 2D Sonic. And it's like, great, you had a 2D Sonic that everyone loved and everyone was on board with. Just make more of that. And they said, nah, we don't need to pay those guys to do that anymore. We made another whatever looking one. Like this looks more like Sonic 4 episode 1 or 2 or whatever the fuck.
I think it looks better than that.
It looks better than that, but I don't know. There's something about how all the characters just lack personality. You know how like you watch a Looney Tunes cartoon and you see like
Are you
the
saying that this Sonic does not have attitude?
exactly. Yes, that's 100% what I'm saying. But like you'd see like in cartoons where there's like the squash and stretch stuff where it's like the they land and they get real small and then they kind of spring back out. And these characters just have no bounce to them. They look like cardboard cutouts. I don't know. It's a little uncanny to me. I don't love it. I mean, otherwise it seems fine, but when you've got this game going against Super Mario Brothers Wonder of, hey, we made a new 2D version of the classic thing you like.
This can fuck right off.
This can absolutely fuck right off, and it shall, and it shall. We'll talk about Wonder here in a bit, but I just think it's a real bad month to try to put out your classic 2D Sonic game against a classic 2D Mario game that looks incredibly fucking cool. Let's move on. Also on the 17th, Wizard with a Gun comes to PC, Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Bobby, I feel like you know more about this game than I do. Yeah, why don't you tell me a little bit more about it?
Well, we streamed it on our Casual Monday stream for the Next Fest, but this is it's a run-based game to a degree. I think, I think it is.
I think so.
There's definitely some of those elements to it, but it's got a cool concept. You are a wizard with a gun that you can unlock new abilities on. You are the run-based element is there's this big calamity that has taken place, and anytime you leave, you're traveling in time, butting up against the calamity, and you have set amount of time to find resources, upgrades, etc. before calamity hits, and then you come back to your base and upgrade your stuff to allow you to be in the calamity longer. I think it looks really cool. I will.
It's co-op too.
Yeah, I will be picking this up eventually, but probably not right at launch, just given the size of this month, and I think it might end up on Game Pass at some point in time. So
yeah, I could see that. It is a Devolver joint, so they hit more than they miss. We did talk about Trek to Yomi a little earlier, but I think generally they still are a solid publisher who finds really good projects. So that is always encouraging. On the 19th, Endless Dungeon comes to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. It's a little bit roguelike. It's a little bit of tactical action game. It's a little bit tower defense. It reminds me a little bit of the
Smash TV vibes, maybe a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
There's some hero character stuff here, kind of like an Overwatch. This is so I threw this on here. It's a game I had my eye on for a while. It has a universe. There's an endless universe out there apparently, and in 2014 there was a game of a similar name that this is more of a spiritual successor to. But it is a squad-based RTS, like roguelike, where you are building up all these turrets and stuff, and you've got hordes that come in after you, abilities for your character that you pick. I think it's got a really cool look to it. It reminds me of a Clay game a little bit in some of the animation I've seen. But I think that, I had my eye on it because I thought this would be a fun stream game for either Mondays or Fridays, being a co-op. And we all like tower defense games here, so I thought that could be a cool thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, apparently these games are hard as hell. Like very, very hard.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, it's an option. I mean, we could always just go back to Risk of Rain 2 if we wanted to as well. But I mean, I like it's got a lot of fucking particle effects on it, which is pretty cool.
Particle effects.
Johnny, this next one is for you. On the 19th, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged comes out to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. I believe you are the only one of the three of us who played that first game, and I remember you saying you liked it. What do you think about this?
I think it's great that they're making a sequel. This is the first time I'm seeing this trailer.
Okay.
And it looks like the first one felt a little like a not a AAA game. Like this feels like they succeeded well enough that they got more money to do more cool shit with this one. This is how this is looking to me.
I'll tell you what I've seen in this trailer. It does. So the big thing I think is that it has these outdoor environments. So you're getting some. There are jumps. Cool. So I'll tell you the thing that looks a little bit a little uncanny to me is that you have these jumps and you also have these kind of side shifts.
Dashing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it just makes it feel it makes it look a little janky in the movements. Like obviously they're Hot Wheels toys here. It's not like they're real cars, but
toys,
there is something that looks a little off when you see them make these quick shifts side to side. From a gameplay perspective,
on a Hot Wheels track, really cool. Like they do some crazy shit on those tracks. So I don't know if canonically maybe this doesn't make sense, but
as a person who has said many times, I loved those old Micro Machine games. I like being a small thing in a normal sized world. I think that's very fun. I look at this and go like, this looks kind of cool. I wouldn't mind trying it out.
I see myself probably playing this more than I do Forza.
Yeah, totally.
Arcade is just way more.
Totally. I would 100% say Forza is the more well-made game of these two, but this one just looks like more fun. This looks more fun.
Yeah.
Rude.
Speaking of more fun, on the 19th, the Jackbox Party Pack 10th Jackbox Party Pack.
A lot of Jackbox Party Packs.
Comes to PC, Switch, PS5, PS4, and Xbox Series X. I've got some rules here. Every Jackbox Party Pack should have Fibbage and Quiplash in it, and if they don't, this is failure. And this one has neither. So, kind of that's how I feel. It does have TKO 2. They made a sequel to TKO, which is a really fun game. But I don't know. They make so many of these. They made a Jackbox Party Starter or something like that a year or two ago that did have like quite a few of the classic Jackbox games in there.
Look, but let's be honest. If you're buying the Jackbox Party Pack 10, you have at least one other party pack.
Sure.
I don't have any of them.
I think I have 2 and 3.
I think I might have one on the Switch.
So at that point, I feel like you would at least have some of the games that you're talking about.
Yeah, but they make new versions with stuff in there. Like there's been a Quiplash 2 or a Quibbage XL or whatever the hell they call them, a lot of different things. I don't know. Sometimes the Jackbox games are pretty hit and miss. I remember I played one over at Johnny's that I thought was just real boring.
Yep.
Was that the secret agent one where you had to I can't remember. It was like a truth or dare kind of thing with secret agents. I thought that one kind of sucked, but I've had a lot of fun with Jackbox games in the past. Who knows? There could be like a new favorite in here, but
sure.
It's more Jackbox. They keep making Jackbox games. On the 20th, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 comes out to the PlayStation 5. I feel like I should just give you guys the floor.
Man, I'm so excited for this one. I love those first 2 games and everything I've seen with this one.
What do you mean? This is 2. This says 2.
There's only been Marvel's Spider-Man 2018 and then Spider-Man Miles Morales, which came out in 2020.
And now this gives you both. They're both there.
And yeah, I love Spider-Man. He's probably my favorite hero next to Batman. And I think that they did a really great job, especially with the narrative in 2018. And this looks, I don't know, Bobby, I think it looks fucking awesome. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah. I think some of the changes they're making have me pretty excited for it. I thought Miles Morales was far better than 2018 Spider-Man was, and I'm hoping that some of those weird abilities come through here.
So combat-wise, it looks like they've really maybe they realized that Miles was way more to play, way more fun to play than Peter, and it looks like they gave Pete like a new toolkit. Or
Well, yeah,
upgraded
he's got
toolkit.
like all the Venom powers now, right?
Yeah.
He's got
He
the
also
symbiote
he
shit.
has the octo arms like automatically, like he just has them.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
it's gonna be huge.
It reminds me a little bit of the Final Fantasy VII remake, where you had like the Yuffie chapter, where it was, wow, okay, you focus on this other character, and this other character is super fun and has a bunch of great stuff. Okay, now you have to make another game, and that character is also going to be in there, so everybody else is going to have to step up their game mechanically. So it's in a similar sense. I'm interested to see how that translates. I also like that they have that kind of Grand Theft Auto 5 style. You can zip from one character to another. They could be on two opposite sides of the city. So if you had like a mission where you needed to be on that side, well, hey, Miles is over there, so why don't I zip into him, and then thwip into him, and then play around with him. Very cool. But the real question is, are you going to be playing this on the 20th, or are you playing Super Mario Wonder on the Nintendo Switch?
Why not both, baby?
There's only 24 hours in a day, man. Which one are you going to dedicate to?
I am equally excited for both of these games.
Oh, yeah. This game looks incredible.
This game looks so fucking good. I seriously have not been this excited for a 2D Mario game since Yoshi's Island. I mean, I guess time. Yeah, I mean, Super Mario Maker is kind of its own different thing, so I kind of don't even count that. But it looks so inventive. They've just thought of a lot of really cool ass ideas for a 2D Mario game. Like you had New Super Mario Brothers, which was fine, but it was just kind of standard. And New Super Mario Brothers 2 was all about coins in a weird way, and you've had
not bad games,
the Wii ones, and that have been fine. Like there have been a lot of good stuff in those games, but it just feels like there's a completely different design ethos in here.
A fucking fever dream of a video game.
It's like they've been given freedom to try a bunch of new shit, and they're going all for it.
Bowser's Fury was weird, and I think people really liked that. And I think that this is taking just, what if we put you outside of the box that we've built for the last 30 years with Bowser's Fury and let you make a really weird kind of open world Mario? And here they are now putting themselves in a very free form version of a 2D Mario, which I think is really fucking cool.
Yeah. Tired Tanuki suits, wired elephants.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Let's continue on. The 24th, Bobby mentioned City Skylines 2 is coming to PC. It has been pushed back on consoles, so for now, PC is the only place you can get it.
This is bad for me. This is bad.
I just think it's impressive how quickly this franchise ate SimCity's lunch.
And they're going to be doing the same thing to The Sims potentially. They've got their version. They announced they're basically making their version of that now too. That comes out next year. And I can't remember the name of this. Let me look it up really quick.
I don't either. I love City Skylines. So that game came out a good long while ago. So it's very exciting to me to see what they do with the.
It's called Life sequel. By You.
Okay. Well, very cool.
It's on Game Pass, so there we go.
Yep, on Game Pass. I think this game looks great. PC Game Pass again, just to reiterate. But looks good. It's been a long time since I played a SimCity that wasn't just replaying the SNES version. Looks good. Looks good. Also on the 24th, you guys will like this. You guys are big Tolkien
one of us
heads.
Will.
The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria comes to PC and PS5, hot off the heels of Game of the Year, Gollum's Quest, or whatever the fuck they called it.
Wait, this is not by the same crafting game?
Mm-hmm.
Kinda, yeah.
Yep.
Like this
base building.
I'm back
Bobby. Bobby, you don't remember they showed this off, and it's like Deep Rock meets survival crafting.
I'm back in, baby.
Yeah,
I told you, man.
They made Deep Rock except Tolkien. So there you go.
That could be a Friday night.
Yeah. I hear there are mines in Moria. Yes.
They delve too greedily, too deep.
Was the Balrog in Moria, or is he?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Cool. I know things. He does have a second magic card that I remember when we were talking about the Balrog cards. There is a second one that does what I thought it did. Anyway. Also on the 24th, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which does tend to make me think there will be a Volume 2 someday. Let's run down all the stuff that's in here. You get Metal Gear 2, you get Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. And you also get the NES Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge and the Metal Gear Solid VR missions. And there are 2 digital motion comics. And I don't remember what those exactly cover, but they're also included. You get a bunch of stuff. You can also get a bunch of this stuff separately. There's a bunch of different bundles of kinds of things in here as well. So if you just want the digital comic books, I think you can get that. I think you can get just the solids. Maybe you can get 1, 2, and 3 of the solids. There's a lot of Metal Gear out there, and this is a way to play them.
Yeah.
This is yet another way to play many of these games. I look forward to Volume 2, which has to have Metal Gear Solid 4 in it, which is a game that has never gotten a port anywhere. So that's the one I'm kind of interested in seeing. Also, because it probably will have Peace Walker on it, which I still think might be the best Metal Gear game ever made. And who knows, maybe they'll throw the Acid games in there, which are the card ones. So I'm a little bit more interested in what a Volume 2 might look like. But Volume 1 seems to have the ones you'd probably want. It's got the classics in there. So that if you want to see what Metal Gear is all about and go down that crazy rabbit hole, that's a way you can do it. We'll skip past here. Dave the Diver is coming out 6 to the Nintendo Switch. Can't wait for that.
A great game.
I mean, I don't have, as Bobby would say, I don't have to wait for that. I could play it right now, but I might just wait until the 26th and play what seems to be one of the best games of the year, according to at least 1/3 of this podcast.
I had another friend of mine say it was his favorite game he's played this year.
All right. I'm pretty jazzed to try it. On the Nintendo Switch, of course.
Yeah.
Also on the 26th, Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord. That is why this thing. Wait, is it Ghost Lord? Gas Lord? Ghost Lord.
To answer your question here, no. This does not make me want to buy a new headset.
Just because it's in VR?
Yeah. I'm not going to buy a VR headset to play. I mean, Ghostbuster games don't have the greatest track record, right?
Right.
That's true. It does look pretty good for a VR game. Like, it looks like what I would want out of this VR experience.
Yeah, but again, I'm not buying something.
Yeah, you want to spend like $500, $600, $700 on a headset to play this?
Yes. No, the answer is no.
Yeah, it's tough sell. Bobby, do you still have a headset?
Yeah, I just don't use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is coming out for PC, PS5, and the Quest 2. I think this is a PSVR 2 only game.
Quest 2 is not PSVR.
Well, no, but I mean it's not PSVR 1. I think you can only
they stopped doing those.
Okay.
Yeah, those are done.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like there's no compatibility for any of that.
You had to, even if you had never mind. Well, yeah, it's shitty.
Hey, man! If you're telling me not about VR stuff, that's fine by me. Also on the 26th, Mineko's Night Market. Hey, we talked about the game earlier. It's coming to PS4, PS5, and Xbox One. It's now coming to these other consoles. It's been on PC and Switch for a month, and now it's coming over to these other ones as well. And Game Pass, as Bobby mentioned as well. And let's move right into the 27th. 2, a big release coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. I don't remember if any of us have ever talked about Alan Wake on this podcast before.
I have played Alan Wake.
Okay.
But this is Alan Wake in a post control environment.
Yeah,
and
sure.
The Federal Bureau of Control is involved.
This seems scarier than the first Alan Wake.
Yeah, it's going more survival horror, but I think that they're doing some tech in this from what I heard from the Nextlander guys that has me buzzing, because the blend of FMV to actual gameplay apparently is just astounding how they do it. And I think there's also some really cool stuff with you're playing as two different characters, and the one character they have said that they took strong inspiration from True Detective, and then the other part is way more control, supernatural, the Alan Wake portion of it. But I'm very, very curious about this one for sure.
And one of them has the Octo gear on them from the start, right?
The what?
There's a Spider-Man thing.
Oh,
so I was just being dumb and stupid. Yeah, I mean, I don't do well with the scary stuff, so I will probably not be playing this game. But Bobby, if you're going to jump in and play it, I'm excited to hear what you think, and maybe I'll even be on the quick look if I can.
Yeah, I think Johnny and I are both going to get this one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for sure.
I might have my security blanket around me while I watch you play it, but I would like to see that. And then rounding things out on Halloween, October 31st is Jusant.
We played this. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it looks great. It's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. It's from Don't Nod, the Life is Strange people.
Very different game for them.
He's certainly very different. Is it wordless or is it just okay?
It is.
I know it's very quiet at the very least, but yeah, it might just be completely silent.
Absolutely gorgeous too. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's got a great look. This idea of the climbing and scaling things. Just man, it's a real looker.
Yeah.
A lot of cool physics stuff in here.
Looks beautiful.
It's just very good.
Yeah, I'm pretty jazzed about this one. All right, that gets us into our monthly pick territory, and I think I would like to start this time. I don't get to start very often, so I'll say Long Gone Days, which is again the game I've owned on my PC for on my laptop rather for many a year, but now I'll finally play it. I think that still looks pretty cool. Subpar Pool, very excited about as well. Super Mario Wonder, of course, Jusant, and cheating a little bit, but Dave the Diver does come out to Switch now, so I'm pretty excited about that as well. So that is a lot of stuff. There's a ton, as we just went through, there are a ton of games coming out October, and a lot of solid looking ones as well, but those are the 5 I can see myself playing this month. Bobby, what has your eye?
For sure, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Alan Wake 2, and Jusant.
And Johnny?
Spider-Man 2, Lords of the Fallen. Get rid of the Alan Wake 2.
It's Queen.
Mario Bros. Wonder, and City of Skylines 2.
I do. All right. I think Bobby has it correctly, but I find it very funny that we all wrote Mario Wonder in a different way. Is it Super Mario Brothers Wonder, or is it Super Mario Wonder?
It's mine.
Okay, I thought you were
Super
correct.
Mario Bros. Wonder.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder. But it is funny that we all wrote it down.
I'm playing Wonder Bros. We're all playing it.
Well, very cool. Thank you guys. I know this was a mammoth mammoth preview, but
thank you for putting it all together, Chase.
Man, there were so many games that I left off as well. I mean, Bobby mentioned some of them in the Game Pass stuff, but you had a lot of sports games, hockey, and other shit coming out too, and it was just going to take us forever. So and it still took us forever. But lots of games coming out in October. If there's one we missed that you're excited about, let us know. But these are the ones that we're most excited about. And with that, I will send it over to Bobby to end this damn show.
Yeah, Chase, thanks for putting it together. We'll be super brief. We've got this going on. We've got Fights Tight Spaces, both a quick look and a stream. Starfield Quick Look, and Baldur's Gate 3 on Friday. That's what's up with us. Chase, what do you got going on as well?
Yeah, we spun the wheel this month, or the mini wheel, but the mega wheel got spun last month and it landed on Hypnospace Outlaw. I played it all the way through. I had a really good time with it, and now I wrote an article about it on gamersonthego.com, which you can find in my link tree, or you can go to gamersonthego.com and find it. It was a fun article to write. It's a little bit about the game, but it's mostly about my experience with the early internet and going on to things like Netscape Navigator and looking up weird Sonic cartoon fan pages. It's a different time. It's a different time.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun, and forward to choosing a Pokemon ROM hack and figuring out what the fuck that's going to be and what I'll write about it. But that'll be for the month of October. So go check that stuff out. You can also check out some of the other older wheel spin ones that I've done, games like Legend of the River King and Mutant Year Zero. Lots of interesting articles in there in this backlog roulette year project thing that I'm doing, and I appreciate you both rolling with it. That's a wheel joke right there. But yeah, it's fair enough.
We need to wrap this up, Chase.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, bye everybody.